everyone. Alright, so I am giving you an iCAD and an art journal page in one video today. So this art journal page, I'm actually going to be working on the opposite side from what you're seeing right now. But the paper is from a Prima art journal, and it's just craft paper, and it's kind of crap paper. It's not made for mixed media. It's just craft paper, which doesn't absorb moisture that well. So when it gets wet, it bends. So I put a layer of clear gesso on the back. I'm not sure what was on this, if you want me to be 100% honest with you. I think it was smooch spritz. So I tried spraying some water through a Tim Holtz stencil and doing like a pickup technique. And you can see it a little bit. It turns out not being very prominent. So this is the Tim Holtz clock stencil. And obviously I'm going to use it backwards because I'm okay with mediocrity, I guess. So I am using purple Inca Gold through this stencil with just a cheap makeup sponge from the dollar store. And I am using that sponge just to get all of that nice waxy Inca Gold into all the nooks and crannies of this stencil. And I went with like a blue and purple and like lime green kind of theme with this page, and also with the iCAD. They were made at the same time, which is why I'm kind of combining them together. They were made the same day, and you'll see why and what's up with that. So in just a minute. So now, once it's completely dry, and I did take a heat gun to it, although I don't think it's really necessary, I'm just buffing out the purple. And it does remove a little bit of the purple, but it doesn't smear it, but it does make it nice and shiny. So, ooh, shiny. So then I played around with like what I was going to do with collage. I made that little piece of blue and green paper to the left bottom that go away. I made that with Distress ink, and I did not like it. So I had this piece of scrapbook paper, oh my god. It was a piece of paper. And yeah. So I decided to use that, and I had a couple pieces of Tim Holtz tissue wrap, so I decided to use that. But I wanted this funky jagged edge, so I started tearing and just going to town with it. And you won't see this, but right here, I take my page over to the sewing machine and run some stitches up and down it. And I did some funky stitches, but they didn't turn out that nice. So I cover up most of it. I think you can see some of it at the end, but it's not overly noticeable. So I'm going to use Mod Podge to glue this down. And this is the Mod Podge matte. A lot of people ask me why I use Mod Podge instead of matte medium, and it's because it's a lot cheaper. Yes, matte medium is a lot more matte, and it has a better finish and a better quality, but this is so very much cheaper. And you know, when it's something that I'm doing for myself that I'm not going to try to sell one day, I'm absolutely fine with it. It does have a waxier finish when it's dry. And it's really not all that matte, to be honest. It's not as glossy as the glossy one, but matte medium's better. It just is more expensive. So I'm using, I think, the lilac, one of the light purples of Distress ink, just to color up this iCAD that I had with some leftover paint from a Tim Holtz stencil. And I just shaded the colors that were white. And these are the Tim Holtz rub-ons. I'm trying to figure out where everything's going to go and what I'm going to do with it. I really wish I had the footage for the background of this page. I want to say it was smooch spritz. And I think I just had it in a puddle on my craft sheet, sprayed it with water, and then dragged the page through it. So it wasn't gessoed or anything. And I am putting those rub-ons onto the journal page. Alright, so I used a little bit of dilutions on that tissue paper. You saw me pull out the dilutions, but I lost the footage. And I'm going to end up using that for the iCAD that's part of this video. So it's just dilutions on the Tim Holtz tissue paper. And I took a picture of my hand on my phone and I printed it on our printer, and then printed it out. I printed out two. One was too big, the other was this one. So this one I end up using for the art journal page. The other picture I end up using for the iCAD. So I used sepia accents to glue it down. I don't know why I had it nearby. So yeah. And I've been using pumice stone around the edges. I like this color because it's just darker. It's not really a color, it's just darker. It's just that color darker. So you don't have to worry about color matching or anything. So this is some foam tape, and just popping up that iCAD so that way it gives a little bit of dimension. This isn't my favorite iCAD or art journal page, but you know, they were fun to make, and I like the sentiment that went into making them, because I get messy, and as you can see I used two different colors of dilutions, and they were all over my hands. So it was my hands that actually inspired this art journal page. So creating begat more creating. That almost sounded biblical, didn't it? Yeah, so it was the fact that I had created which spawned me to create again. So I think that kind of lesson for me was one of my favorite parts about this art journal page and iCAD. And if you're new to iCADs, they're index card a day. They're by Daisy Yellow, I believe. Just Google iCAD and she comes up. It's the first one. It's just like an art journal page on an index card. You can do whatever you want, no rules. So, and a little bit of archival ink around the edges in jet black, just to frame the page in a little bit. And the page is done, and if you stay tuned, there is an iCAD with a whole bunch more footage coming up. So there's the page. Like I said, I like that it was the fact that I had created that spurred me to create even more. So that was fun. This is an iCAD which had something on it, something purple. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And I'm just using some matte medium. Why I chose matte medium here instead of Mod Podge, I don't know. I don't know. Because I just had the Mod Podge out. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. So I just glued that down, and now I am cutting out the other picture that I had taken of my hand, or that I'd printed of my hand. And I'm not going to say the word that I hate when people talk about cutting. I don't know why that phrase bothers me so much. I'm not going to say it. If you know what I'm talking about, good. Shut up, Jennifer. My wife back there. Fussy cutting. I don't know why it drives me crazy, but it does. It just does. There's something about the word fussy that just... No. It's almost as bad as birds. It's very fussy of me. Shut up, Erin. So, I have to be nice to her because I tore a whole bunch of tendons in my ankle, and she has been my life support for the last 2 weeks, and will probably be so for the next couple months while I'm healing. So I have to be really nice to her right now. So don't make me say bad things to my wife, YouTube. I will blame it on you. I will blame it on you. She can't get to you. She can get to me. Right, babe? Love you. I'm a little scared. My back's to her. Alright, so I am just trying to find out where I'm going to stick this. And again, using the matte medium. I don't know why I grabbed one versus the other, but there you have it. I did. And gluing it down, and just a little bit over the top. Seal the whole thing in. And of course I dried it. Then I took my Stabilo All Pencil, and this is one of my favorite water-soluble pencils. It writes on everything, which is why it's called the All Pencil. It writes on plastic, it writes on glass, it writes on everything. Mod Podge, acrylic, you name it, it writes on it. And to top it off, it's water-soluble, so you can, which I'm going to, you can come back with a water brush or just a paintbrush with a little bit of water, and kind of feather the color out a little bit. And excuse me, Packard Dye was the one who actually introduced this product to me, and I got mine at Blick. They're cheap. They're less than $2. It's like $1.20 or something. They're really cheap. And she uses it all the time, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to get one of those. So now I have a couple. The white one, not so good. The black one is great. The white one's not good when it comes to the water solubility, because the color breaks down tremendously, whereas the black stays really true, but the white not so much. And then just grabbed a white Stabilo, no, not Stabilo, hello, white Uniball Signo pen. This is my favorite of all the white pens. I've used a couple, and this is my favorite of them all. I still have issues with it now and again, depending on what it is I'm writing on, but overall, this is my favorite white pen. And a little bit of archival ink in jet black right around the edges. And these two pages match each other, and they go well with one another, and they're all done. So I hope you liked them, and check me out on Facebook, Imperfect Impulses with Aaron. I'm also Imperfect Impulses anywhere on social media, Pinterest, Instagram, all that jazz. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.